welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I've got this set for you all this week. The word ethereal keeps coming to mind. I feel like if fairies are real, this is the kind of thing that their wings would look like, you know? That's just what I keep seeing when I look at them. And I'm going to be working on using my non-dominant hand. So, yeah, that's always fun, but I thought it was time. So, yeah, I know it's been a little bit since I posted. I know this video's late. Sorry. Perimenopause is kicking my ass, y'all. That's all I can say. So, anyway, we're just going to get right on into it. Okay, so I'm starting out. I've got my nails prepped, all the cuticle work done, all that good stuff. And I'm going to be using my short coffin tips from Lisette Gel Nails, LGM Pro. I've got my little flash curing lamp ready to go. I adhere them with base coat. I don't use nail glue. So, yeah, as soon as I get everything all situated around. So, yeah. The way I put them on is these tips, they don't really have a contact area, kind of like a little depression inside of them, like some other tips do. So I just, put a tiny little bit of base gel on there and get it to where it looks straight. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're holding the end of the tip, but as straight as, as possible. And stick it under that little flash curing lamp for just a few seconds until I feel like it's grabbed on. And make sure I'm getting the corners too. And do all my hand like that. And then I put my hand in my full-size lamp for a full cure. So, to get them all the same length, this is something I've really struggled with for a long time until I got these little magnets. And I can't remember where I got these from. If anybody wants to know, I'm sure I can hunt them up and get you a link fairly easy. Just let me know in the comments. But, yeah, these things have really, really helped. I would, before I started using these, I'd cut them all and think, oh, that looks pretty good, until I started comparing them. And, yeah, they were all crazy amounts of different lengths. So yeah, the way these work is you just put them on your tip cutter right there on the little round part, and you just go along and stick it right against your finger under your free edge and clip every nail, and they are all the same distance from your, from the end of your finger. Now that doesn't necessarily mean all your nails are going to be the same length. If your nail beds are, some of them are shorter than others or longer than others, yeah. So I would compare them, lining all your cuticles up and looking at them that way. But yeah, this gets it pretty close. And the way I store them so I don't lose them, because I'm prone to losing stuff, I put them in that little bag, seal it back up, and they just, where that's metal, they just stick right on to my tip cutters. So that's convenient. So get them all filed and ready to go. So yeah, they're all filed. I went over the tips, got all those roughed up, give them a good clean. I've dipped my scrub brush here into nail cleanser and just, give them a good scrub. Make sure all the dust is off of there from the filing. I'm going to be using LGN gel today, in addition to another one, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to be using her prep system. This is her dehydrator. And if you see me sculpt before, I usually, I go all out with this stuff. I just want to make sure everything is as dried out as possible. I go over every finger twice, and I'm very generous with this stuff. It does kind of seep under the tips where I use so much of it. That's why they're white underneath, but that's no big deal. We'll clean that off later. So, okay, once the dehydrator is dried, I'm moving into my base coat, and this is my standard application here. I just get a little bit on each nail, and then I'm going to come back in with that number 6 brush that's laying over to the side, and just kind of rub that base coat into my nail. Make sure it's very thin. It is everywhere, it needs to be. And as soon as I do that, I'm going to cure. I will come back and do a second coat. The second coat, I'm going to pull it down over the tip also. Just for, I find it helps with adhesion, making sure the gel and the tip stick together really well. I've had problems with separation in the past after a week or two of wear, so this is what I have figured out helps. Oh yeah, and if you get any on your skin, immediately get it off. That's what I was doing there. I got a little too close. So yeah, first coat, cure, second coat, cure, and then next step. Okay, so once I've got all the base coat cured, I'm coming in now and just cleaning out where that dehydrator left that white film underneath. Just a little bit of nail cleanser, give them a good wipe, and it takes care of it. So, first step, I'm going to use this True Nude. It's the pot that I tinted to match my nails better. Getting out my number 4 brush. I know I say this in every video, but yeah, great little brush. Love this brush. And all I'm going to do here is just go along and kind of camouflage the color of my natural nails that are showing. This design is pretty see-through, and my natural nails tend to be a lot like my skin, just kind of blotchy and not the most even in color. So all I'm doing is just kind of painting this on every nail very thinly, and going to give it a cure, and then next step. Okay, so I've got the nude cured. Next, I'm going to put down just like a thin layer of clear before I go in with my glitter gel here in a second. If I decide to fill these, I want to have a thin clear layer to file back to, basically. So this is just future insurance. So yeah, I'm going to get this thin layer down, cure it, and then we will get the glitter gel out. Okay, I'm going to be using this glitter gel from MShare. Is that the... Yeah, I think that's the brand name. It's the stuff I got off of AliExpress. I've been dying to use this stuff ever since I got it. This is the brush I'm going to use to apply it. I don't like to use my Lisette brush, my good brush, for glitter. It's too hard to clean it back out again, and I don't want to be putting any kind of chemicals or anything on that brush especially. So that's why I always switch brushes for glitter. So, if I were doing this on my left hand, I would just do this layer all at once, and it would be much quicker and easier. But since I'm doing it on my using my non-dominant hand, all I'm doing here is I'm painting. It's just more thin layers that I'm basically painting on, and it's just this keeps them all even without having to struggle so much with my non-dominant hand. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to be painting on a thin layer, cure it, do a second layer to build up the glitter a little more, and then cure that. I do want to apologize. I know the focus keeps going in and out. I forgot to tell the camera what to focus on before I started recording here. So yeah, that's my bad, y'all. I'm sorry about that. But I'll just let you watch the glitter application, and I will come back when it's time to encapsulate. Okay, I've got both of those layers cured, and I'm showing you here there's no real structure to these nails yet. That glitter gel is hard gel. It's just a clear hard gel with glitter in it. So you can build it up and build a whole nail out of it if you wanted to. But then when you have to file into shape, you're going to have some problems. And that glitter gel is very lumpy anyway, so you're definitely going to have to file. So, yeah. So that's why I'm doing it like this. This is my usual way of doing things, I'm going to just do a slip layer and then build up on top of that my structure. As far as tips for using your non-dominant hand, the first thing I can tell you is a long time ago I heard, and I can't even remember where I heard this from. It was some nail artist on YouTube or Instagram or something. And they said, start doing tasks, like normal everyday tasks, with your non-dominant hand. Just stuff like typing when you text on your phone, or picking up just everyday stuff like you pick up your toothbrush, pick up the comb, comb your hair with your left hand. Just small everyday tasks, nothing dangerous. Don't be in the kitchen chopping up vegetables using your other hand, but just small everyday tasks get you used to using that hand more, and it will help you develop a little more dexterity with that hand. When it comes to sculpting, first thing you want to do is make sure that you are firmly planted on your working surface. Like, make sure that your elbow, your forearm, something is very solidly resting on your work surface, and go slow. And practice, practice, practice. Over time, you will get better and better and better. I'm still not great by any means, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. I don't dread doing my right hand as much as I used to. It's still not the most fun thing in the world, and I still don't do anything super complicated on it like I would on my other hand. But, excuse me. But, yeah. But I'm also a person that I like my hands to be different. If you like both your hands to be the same, yeah, I don't know. Somebody asked me about showing how to do nail art using your non-dominant hand, and the only thing that I can recommend for that is decals, foils, stickers, anything that you can buy that's pre-made. Use that to your advantage. You can also pre-paint things using your dominant hand on like a smooth surface and make your own little stickers and decals. But yeah, as far as, I'm not good at hand painting using my dominant hand, so I don't really do it to begin with. So I don't really have a whole hell of a lot of advice for that, but that's just the best that I can offer. Mostly use things that are already pre-made, which I tend to do. Like I said, I can't paint anyway, so I do that on my left hand already. So, but yeah, all I'm doing here is getting everything encapsulated. I'm not putting a whole lot on because these are fairly short nails and they don't need a whole lot. So, yeah. But also, want to take a second to look at the shape of these tips. You cut the ends off of them and they make the nicest coffin shape. I love this. I wish I had gone with the longer stiletto tips. I may have to go back and get some of those, because this coffin shape is awesome. It's got a gorgeous C-curve, and y'all know I'm all about the C-curve. Ain't gonna be no flat nails on this channel. So yeah, these tips are awesome. Love them, highly recommend them. So, but yeah, just getting everything as nice as I can get it here before it goes in the lamp, and then we will move on. Okay, so I've got everything encapsulated. I am going to wipe off the sticky layer first and foremost. Gotta do that. I like to go over my nails twice, getting off the sticky layer, just to make sure I'm getting everything. Make sure you're getting the sides, around the sides, on the ends, all the places that, people tend to miss a lot. I tended to miss a lot before I started doing it twice. and get them filed into shape. And yeah, that's what's going on here. So I've got them filed, cleaning off all the extra dust, and this is where I'm trying to show you how the thickness of them. They're not, they're a little thicker than I would like, but I started hitting that glitter, so I stopped. They're not super bulky, but oh well. Okay, so now for the finishing touch. I'm going to be using this chrome powder that I got on Shein. It is sadly no longer available. Sorry. I am glad I got it when I did, though, because this is two out of the three. There was one that was kind of icy that I'm not really, probably won't use a whole lot, but two of them, this one and the other one that's like more orangey. This one's the more pinky of the two. These are gorgeous, and I can't believe I got them for the price I got them for. They were like, I don't know, a couple bucks each. So, top coat, I'm going to get a thin layer of this Model 1's top coat on each nail. And oh, yeah, this is where I'm showing you that glitter. I'm so glad I got to use this glitter gel this quick. I've been trying to think up ideas on how to use this stuff, because as soon as I got it, I knew that I had to use it. It's so pretty. And it's sad. The camera is not doing this stuff justice. It is gorgeous in person. It is so much more iridescent and flashy and blingy looking, and oh, it's so pretty. So, getting every nail top coated, I'm going to come back and do I swipe down the sides? I must have done that on camera. Okay, so I only cure for 30 seconds when I'm doing chrome. And then I'm going to pat this on all the nails, making sure I'm getting everything covered. Chrome powder, you don't have to use a lot, but be a little generous with it so you're going to get a good result. I don't know, I was trying to think of advice for using chrome powder, because I've seen a few people say they have issues using chrome. I've never had an issue with it once I found a top coat that would take chrome. I always cure my top coat for half the time that it says to get a full cure. Like this top coat says it takes 60 seconds. I cure it for 30. I do know that certain top coats will not take chrome. The Born Pretty Super Top Coat is one of those. So I was really struggling with that for a little bit. But yeah, certain top coats will just not take chrome. And that's something that you have to experiment around with to figure out sometimes. But this Model 1 is great. No, I keep saying Model 1's. McCart. My bad. This is McCart top coat. Takes chrome great. I've never had any issues with it. It always adheres well, shines well. It doesn't make it glittery. Highly recommend this McCart top coat for chrome. So, I'm getting that all rubbed in. I do like to use my fingers to rub it in. I just feel like it gives a shinier result and you get less chance of having a glittery effect. So, once I've done that, I'm going to give them a brush just to make sure I'm getting everything off of there. Then I'm going to top coat them again. If you haven't heard me say this before, if you're going to do chrome, any, decent amount at all, you want to have a separate top coat for your chrome powders, because you're going to end up getting some down in the bottle. And that's going to be a problem at some point when you're doing like a solid color set that you want to be. Say you're doing just a straight blue set. Just straight, cream color blue, no glitter or anything in it. If you're not using a separate top coat for your chrome, you're going to have glitter on that blue at some point. It doesn't matter how much you brush it off, how careful you are, it's still going to transfer. So yeah, get a separate top coat for your chromes. for any kind of glitter presses, anything like that. And I like to put a little bit of a glitter, like a drop of some kind of glitter polish on top of the stem of that bottle, so I know that's my glitter top coat by looking at it, just easily. So yeah, I've got them all top coated here. I'm going to pull off as much top coat off of that brush as I can and swipe down my sides to try and keep my shape as much as possible. Because at this point, you can't go back in and file. I mean, you can, but then you're going to have to put another layer of top coat on. So yeah, this keeps me from losing my shape. And any drips or anything that may be happening stops that. So yeah, got that cured. And oh, I did want to show y'all, if you have any of these little type of containers, they're not the easiest thing to use, so I kind of sprinkle it in the lid to use it, and then when I'm ready to put it away, that inner plug there pops out. Just take some kind of tool you can get down in there and pop it out. And yeah, that's how I get the extra chrome back down in there, because I, don't want to waste it. It's so pretty. I'm definitely not going to waste it. And then I put that back in there. You can use it just open like that, but I'm afraid to leave that little rubber part out and close it up. I'm afraid that the lid's not going to screw down on as tightly as it should, and it's going to be, if it gets knocked over or whatever, it's going to be leaking everywhere. So yeah, all top coated and done. What y'all think? I love these. And yeah, they look pretty here, but in person, oh my God. Oh, this is where I'm just using the natural light to see if I could get it to show up the right color. It's kind of, I don't know. These have like a pinky shift to it. This chrome has a pinky shift to them that's just, it's not translating on camera. But I've got some pictures at the end where I went outside and tried to get some shots in shade and in full sun, just to show you all the true color. But it's just not coming across. But yeah, I love these so much. They're so pretty, just shiny and glittery, and they've got that color shift to them. And yeah, I'm over the moon with these. I really, really love them. They look a lot more complicated than they are. Honestly, this is very simple nail art. And you could do it, on natural nails too. You don't have to have long extensions to get this look. So yeah, that's what we've got. So yeah, thanks you all for sticking around. I do have some good stuff upcoming. I've got a Temu haul. I'm hoping everything gets here in time to shoot it this weekend. I've got some Amazon stuff coming up. I've got to work on my other hand because they're getting outgrown. So yeah, please leave a like before you go. Make sure you're subscribed so you know when those videos upload, and leave me a comment. Tell me anything you want to see in the future. Tell me what you think about these. Tell me, don't you think that if fairies were real and they had wings, don't you think this is the stuff they'd be made out of? I do. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming back again. I will see y'all next time. Bye.